Autumn is a beautiful time of year. The leaves turning rustic, the air getting cooler and fresher, the days growing shorter with longer periods of golden light, and all the deer start trying to ride each other. Before we get started, a little bit of a PSA. If you're going to go to a park or a place where deer are easy to find and a bit of a tourist attraction like the Phoenix Park, don't walk up to them and try feeding them, you fucking morons. Especially when the stags, which are the ones with the antlers by the way, are going mad, barking and fighting with each other in front of you. I see this all the time in the Phoenix Park with parents encouraging their very young children to walk up to aggressive stags that are bellowing and fighting each other. And while your child walks up to it, if that stag gets spooked and clips your child with its antlers, you don't want that to happen. Those animals are not small things. They are very powerful, strong animals, and they will hurt you. So if you don't know what deer are doing and you don't understand the deer, please don't walk right up to them. AKA, don't do this, you fucking idiots. This is why you shouldn't feed them. Oh no, now he's going over to them. Oh, for fuck's sake. So what is the deer rut? Well, if you're not aware, in autumn, and in Ireland it happens more specifically at the end of October, the deer go into rut for a few weeks. Technically, it's the deer's breeding season and the stags actually go into rut and the does go into heat, which means the stags will now start fighting each other for mates and dominance. So for the last few years actually, I have been photographing the rut here in the Phoenix Park, which is baby's first deer rut photography. Hopefully next year I'll be able to see this in the wild with red deer up in the hills, but tracking them and getting access to them is actually quite difficult and I don't know much about that, so I'll need help. But I would love to photograph that next year for the rut. Also at this time, the stags start digging like small holes to lie in and spreading their scent around. And if you're actually walking around an area with these holes, be careful not to trip in one and nearly break your ankle. Guess how I know about this problem? So technically the rut actually has multiple phases. The first is the pre-rut, with the stags having bulked up and grown a brand new set of antlers with the velvet still on them. So as the rut approaches, this velvet, which is the skin that covers the antlers as they grow, falls off, and you end up with the stags with this bloody velvet hanging off their antlers while they rub them on the branches and trees to try and get the velvet off. And while they're doing this, you can get photos of the stags with all this like bloody velvet hanging off their antlers. It looks pretty metal. But the really interesting time is later on with the chasing and tending phases of the rut, where the stags get super aggressive and really start fighting. And this is when you get those awesome shots of the stags fighting and doing the antler clashes. Come on, look this way, dear. Now this year I actually went out to the park multiple times to get lots of photos and opportunities to watch the stags in rut. And they're actually very easy to find in the park. They tend to hang out near the OSI office. Now while I have used film cameras in the past years fairly easily, this year I really struggled with the film cameras because the weather was just crap. The stags are most active a little bit before sundown and about an hour after sunrise. And if you have really cloudy crap weather, there's just not enough light to get properly exposed images on film, even with a 2.8 lens. It's just not possible to get that. You end up with your shutter speed falling off a cliff, and you end up with tons of motion blur in your shots, which can actually look really cool, but if all your shots are like that, it kind of gets old fast. So I only shot really on the Z8 this year. I did manage to get one roll of 250D through the f6. In previous years I actually shot a bunch of Velvia 100 and those slides turned out pretty good. Okay, so we're back in the park. It's a Friday evening and today there's actually good weather. So for the last couple of weeks of the rut, there has been this incredibly frustrating layer of heavy cloud that would appear about 4:30, 5 o'clock. I believe it comes from the sea, it's some sort of weather effect, but yeah, every evening when the deer get active, this cloud comes in and you end up shooting at 2, 3, 4, 5,000 ISO. If the deer are under the trees, or even when they're out of trees, you're still shooting at like 5K ISO, and it makes your pictures and video look like crap, or not look as good as they could, and it makes shooting film impossible. But today there's actually a nice clear sky all around, nowhere for clouds to blow in. It's a nice calm still day, so hopefully with a bit of luck I'll actually get some good footage. They're about to start. Yeah, picture that guy with the grass on his head. So this was the first day where I actually properly managed to get footage of the stags fighting really aggressively. But I also wanted to get a picture of the stag's breath while it was roaring in the cold air, which I finally managed to do that evening.
Yeah. Nice with the background of trees and... Because at least it's more deer, it's not are you serious? It's not
that's really it for this video. Just a short little video on the deer rut and how you can photograph it, I suppose. So I'll see you next time. Ah!